Hi, I'm Tanushree Banerjee, editor of Equity Masters Blue Chip Recommendation Service, Stock Select. Welcome to yet another session of Safe Stocks, where we discuss strategies and opportunities that can help you create huge long-term wealth, but very safely. Think about 23rd March 2020, the day Sensex crashed 4,000 points. Did you think that in less than a year, the index will once again be perched comfortably at nearly 50,000 levels? I certainly didn't. The recent bull run has taken all of us by surprise. This is the first time in 25 years that the index is once again trading at a PE multiple of more than 40 times. The last time the Sensex traded at such a multiple was back in October 1994. Of course, many of us are now very worried whether parking money in safe stocks and safe asset classes will be possible now. And in the hurry of considering safer stocks and safer asset classes, we may be making many mistakes. In this video, I'm going to explain to you why. I'm sure many of you have heard of the concept of behavioral finance. If I have to put it very simplistically, it is the psychology that impacts human behavior, human thinking when it comes to investments or money matters. Now, as human beings, we have very many biases that block our rational thinking and force us to believe in certain things or behave in a certain way that ends up being in this case, detrimental to our financial well-being. So, what are some of the biases that we often find investors guilty of? Today, I'll talk about just 3 of them that could be the main reasons for wrong investor behavior during such market peaks. They are loss aversion bias, recency bias, and anchoring bias. Let me start with loss aversion. Now, it is suggested, it is believed that loss aversion may be the most powerful of all the biases. That's because the pain of loss tends to be twice as great than the pleasure of earning returns. Think about it. Of all the stocks where you have lost money on, you may be able to recall those names at a jiffy. But for the stocks that you have made money on, you may be able to recall only the top ones. So the loss tends to linger in your mind, whereas maybe all the profits don't. Which is why investors find it very difficult to get rid of bad stocks from their portfolio. Even at market peaks, say they have not made up for certain stocks, or they have not broken even on certain stocks, they tend to wait and keep those stocks in their portfolio, hoping to recover money on them. But that may not be the right decision. At such market peaks, if you believe that there are stocks you would want to get rid of because they are risky for your portfolio, this is the best time to do so. Please don't allow those stocks to linger in your portfolio. Recency bias. Now, recency bias favors recent events over historic ones. Of course, there may be stocks that, large stocks or stocks which have already run up quite a lot, and they may linger in your mind thinking that because these stocks have made so much money for them, I should keep on putting more money in them. The fact that you have had a favorable experience on the stocks in recent times may influence you to keep increasing your exposure to such stocks. And that recency bias can then force you to buy those stocks at higher and higher prices. But remember, by doing so, you're only reducing your chances of making money on those stocks. Even stocks like Infosys and Hindustan Unilever have had lost decades. So investors who had historically bought those stocks at peak valuations did not make money on even such solid businesses for nearly a decade. Therefore, recency bias does not serve you well when you're creating wealth for the long term. Therefore, do not let the bias of stocks which have made money for you in recent months, force you to increase your exposure on them. Anchoring bias. Anchoring bias causes us to rely too heavily on the first piece of information that we have. For instance, when COVID-19 happened, we were told that the economy won't do well for years, that certain sectors will underperform for many, many months, many quarters, and there will be other sectors which will do very well during the pandemic. We also thought that small caps will get completely washed out. Now, these were facts that probably were true back then, but over the months, these facts have changed. And unless we adjust our thinking with the change in facts and we look forward, to investing in assets that are becoming safer but are still not valued as per that safety, then we will probably lose out. So, if we stay anchored to the first belief that we had and do not look at the change in facts, that can be very detrimental to our portfolio. Plus, keep in mind that inflation is going to be a real challenge in the coming months. So, if you are not having assets that help you hedge against inflation, that could be a big risk to your portfolio. Debt has hardly given any returns to investors over the past couple of years. But if interest rates were to move up along with inflation and you do not have debt in your portfolio, that could also, hurt you in the long term. So please keep these couple of points in mind when you're looking for safer stocks and safer assets over the coming months. Stocks, sectors and assets that were safe yesterday, as in 2020, may not be the safest this year. So please watch out for this, the stocks that are truly safe. Do not hesitate to take some losses to rid your portfolio of bad quality businesses. Do so now before it's too late. And finally, most importantly, make sure you diversify. Make sure you don't get stuck to stocks or sectors or asset classes that have done well in the recent past, but you also take into account the changes that will come about in the economy and the stock markets and adjust your portfolio accordingly and stay adequately diversified. That's it from me. I would love to hear your questions and comments. Please put them in the comment section, and we'll catch up soon.